SpaceX.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. They are upset at the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, because a report recently came out that was damning against specifically SpaceX, and they were not happy.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Why?
So, you know what SpaceX has in the sky?
Yeah, they have rockets.
They have rockets, but also they have Starlink.
Oh, they do have Starlink. Yes, they do.
For those who don't know, Starlink is basically
Wi-Fi?
kind of like Wi-Fi, but it's like you get a satellite dish, and there's these satellites all over the world that are flying around that give you basically internet anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because Starlink has provided like internet to many remote places in the world. It's also like it's been heavily, I think, marketed too. So it's interesting to hear about that.
That there's like negative news on it.
Yeah.
So the FAA asked the Aerospace Corporation, that's what their name is, to go and do a study on these satellites that are zipping around, these constellations as they put it. And this company, this nonprofit, posted, or like a third party, posted a 35-page report. And in this, they said that these constellations, as they grow, could have debris that could re-enter Earth and kill someone.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear because I wonder how exactly this study was done. Because I wonder if they're measuring like how far away like the Starlink satellites are and necessarily like what exactly is going to be causing them to re-enter the Earth and cause debris, because it seems like I wouldn't doubt that it's not uncommon that things like this happen, but I mean, to write 35 pages and see it's like, oh, this potentially could come down. I wondered like what metrics that they're using to identify this.
So what they did was they took did a study, and it was like, and they found that 3 of the components like could come back in and then like re-enter supposedly. And this is based on their low orbit satellites.
Oh, okay.
So if it's like,
okay, that
it's
makes
like
sense.
higher, there's more of a chance for it to like burn up.
Yeah,
but they were saying that like, oh, if it's in the low orbit, this is like, it's more of a possibility of this coming down and injuring someone or killing someone.
That's interesting to hear. I didn't. Okay, so if it's low orbit, then it could possibly come in because it wouldn't burn up.
Or that's what they think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
However,
Mr. Musk came out and defended himself.
He challenged him to a fist fight.
Oh my God.
So you can't just be putting up satellites without FAA approval, because they are the agency that dictates about who can be like putting stuff into space like that, at least in America. And they're already approved and their satellite disposal plan for SpaceX. So SpaceX said this report was preposterous, unjustified, and inaccurate.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they said that they I guess they like characterized this as like them. Like there's another space satellite company on the block. Did you know that there's a new one on the block?
No, I did not know this.
So Amazon also has...
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Amazon has Project Cooper.
Yes, you're right.
SpaceX notes that they were mentioned 28 times in this report, while Amazon's Project Cooper was mentioned only 4 times.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they're not only upset, like if it was just a report on satellites falling from the sky and like causing injuries, I feel like they would be like, okay, that's not us. We'd be upset, but not like directly upset. But this seemed like potentially a hit piece. Like they specifically mentioning SpaceX, like SpaceX is the issue. their satellites are falling from the sky.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like there is regulation in place for things like this. Like you can't just put a satellite up in space. Heck, you can't even like if you put a balloon up like to
That's
a certain
true.
degree, they're literally gonna find it. So it doesn't make any sense because you need approval for things like this. So it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to even like. I guess it's more like I don't know. This is a very tough piece because it's like, was it a hit piece on
Yeah, was it? I mean,
SpaceX,
like it mentioning 28 times, and
or
like
was it really about the people's safety?
who knows? So, a statistic that SpaceX shared was that this has happened already, and not like the hitting people and killing them. The
Oh my god!
325 of their satellites have deorbited, aka fallen back onto Earth. And these times that they did this, there was no debris and no traces found of these satellites
Oh,
upon
that's
reentry.
interesting.
So if it hasn't happened in 325 times, they haven't found a single SpaceX piece. They're saying like, why are you targeting us when obviously the evidence has shown that we've done it 325 times
This is insane.
and we haven't found a single time of like finding traces. But I mean, this is coming from the company. Like they're not going to go say like, oh, but just that one time, the 326th time,
Oh my god!
not so great.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty wild because I do think it's insane because there are a lot of satellites flying right now.
Yeah, I would. It'd be interesting to know what exactly. Like, I haven't read this document, but it'd be interesting.
I mean,
to
I'm not
see.
going to read. No
Yeah,
offense to you
yeah.
guys, I'm not going to read 35 pages of like probably dry
To try
aerospace
Oh,
corporation like
yeah,
to
but,
Congress.
but it'd be interesting to see like exactly like why they
The
think
spark
that.
notes.
Yeah, the spark notes on like why they think this would be an issue even now, because if like I wonder if they have any evidence that
I think it's like the simulations of like similar things, and based on the height and like some of the pieces inside the satellite, like they think like
that it might not have burned up during reentry.
yeah. So
Yeah.
they speculate that they were more liberal. They like add like in their estimates they made the pieces on the satellite heavier than they actually were.
Oh, okay.
So that could lead to less of a chance of burnout if it's heavier, it's more material to burn through, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. But yeah. Honestly, I did not know that. I actually didn't. I forgot that Amazon was also putting satellites in space.
A lot of people are putting satellites in space.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Because I mean it's an interesting and really important service that like people in rural areas love SpaceX because like it provides like reasonable speeds.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. Yes, it is better than nothing.
So it's pretty good in that sense. Like if you're traveling in the like desert and you're like, oh, I have no signal, but you might have like satellite signal in the desert, so you'd still be able to contact people if anything happens, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So if you like this type of news, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button.
Yes, and we put out videos daily. We have a library of over 200 videos. I'm pretty sure there's something in there that you will like. And again, if you have any comments on this, make sure to leave them down below.
Yeah. Would you get Starlink? Like when it first came out, it seemed pretty crazy and like a good thing. Not that it like I would need it where we live. But like if you lived in the mountains or something, like this would be pretty crazy to have.
Yeah, or places where some internet might not service you. So yeah, so it'd be crazy. Yeah, let us know in the comments down below if you would get this.
Yeah, and are you worried about this, or is this like a non-issue? Because like I feel like there's like the chances of being hit by, if it's like one person injured or killed per year, I wonder if that's like less. It's like obviously less than a shark attack. Like people get hurt by sharks more than that per year, and I think it might be less than lightning.
I think it might be less than lightning. I would venture to say that I think it's less than lightning.
Okay.
lightning. Yeah.
Which is pretty wild.
Which is pretty. It's pretty. Which
Low.
lightning is more common than you think, but still pretty.
Pretty low risk.
Yeah, pretty low risk.
All right.